when did you find out that you were expecting twins? Did you find out you were expecting twins?
I did find out. Sue came back from her exam, and she said, "Honey, I have something to tell you." She goes, "But you need to sit down." And I'm thinking in my head, okay, she's pregnant. Okay, yeah, okay. I said, "I don't need to sit down." She goes, "No, you need to sit down." So I sat down, and she told me she was having twins. And we knew the doctor really well. I mean, we were friends. So I thought they were pulling a trick on me.
It's a prank.
No, okay, yeah, that's really funny, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, she goes, no, we're having twins. I said, no, we're not. Literally, it took 5 to 10 minutes for her to persuade me that they did, and she had proof because of the picture of the sonogram. Because I thought it was someone else's sonogram they were showing me. I really thought it was a joke.
Oh my God.
So it took me a long time to really absorb that. It was too much.
It's a lot.
It was.
And when you knew she was pregnant, did you have an idea of the sex of one baby? Or did you, when you found out they were twins, did you know the sex of both of them?
We knew the sex of both of them and that they were identical.
And you knew they were both girls?
Yeah.
So what's that?
So that helped because then we knew how to prepare and make the room blue and double everything.
No, not blue at all.
Well,
Actually, what color was
no, it's pink. Actually, I don't know what it was.
I think it was blue. It was blue. You don't even remember?
I forget. There were so many.
It was blue.
If I knew I was having twin girls,
Yeah.
I'd get a little nervous. What were your feelings when you found out? Now you got twins, but now they're girls.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I had no clue what to do because I grew up in a family of all boys. So I knew absolutely nothing and rested on Sue's wisdom and insights and instructions of what to do.
You listened to the woman.
I did.
Yes?
I had to.
You gotta.
I knew nothing.
Was there ever a moment where you thought, all right, coming up on 2 or 3 years old, that, wow, I have girls and I'm going to start doing girly things?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first girly event was?
Well, I mean, it was always just going into their world and doing the things they wanted to do, which was very, alien to me. With the princess wands and...
Who's the princess?
Well, they were both princesses.
Really?
And they both wanted to, they wanted
a
to...
princess. Yes, you were.
Yes, you
I
were.
was an Indian princess.
You were Pocahontas, right?
Yes.
She was Pocahontas, so she was a princess.
Daddy let us put bows in his hair and paint his nails, and he'd play the drums, and we'd march around.
But he used to videotape us dancing around.
We would dance.
Do you have a favorite?
No,
Oh, right here. The fact that you
there are
have
no
to do
favorites in all your children.
that. It's me.
They're always unique and always different, but there's never a favorite.
Different sides of you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Rachel's a lot more like you, I'd have to say.
She is more like me, you are more like your mom.
That's true.
How would you distinguish between the two when they were toddlers?
When they were toddlers, well, Rachel was the adventurous one. She was the first one to walk. She was the first one to ride her bike. She was the first one to explore. And Becca would and ride Ferris wheels and do roller coasters. Becca always followed about a year later.
And that's typical because she's 30 seconds older than me, and I always tell people I just kicked her out. I'm like, what's going on out there? Don't want to come out. Do I? You tell me.
Yeah,
She's
is it
alive?
okay?
All right, I'll come out. I'm gonna come out screaming.
It's
but I'm
safe,
coming out.
Becca.
Yeah. It's safe.
Okay, but what about me?
What about you?
Well, you just said something really awesome about her. She's adventurous.
Oh my
So was I.
goodness.
He basically said you were a wimp.
I'm a wimp. Well, yeah,
She likes to talk.
You very much like to control the narrative and everything.
Hello.
You always took control of every situation.
Why do you think we're here?
That's right.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah. And she's very headstrong. Matter of fact, she proved that in the grocery store when she couldn't get what she wanted in the shopping cart, and she was in the middle of the aisle banging her head on the floor,
I thought
having
that
a
was her.
having a tantrum.
I just followed you.
That was you.
Let's share a more positive
Yeah.
story.
What beach are we at, by the way?
In Galveston.
We are in Galveston.
We are in Galveston. The sun's setting. It's glorious.
So,
Sun over there.
tell the story of how you knew I'd always be okay.
Okay.
Or you
Okay.
mentioned
I had to really go back.
Come on, you tell me.
Yeah,
all
we
the
were
time.
on this beach, probably about 7 miles down, staying for a week, and we were out walking in the evening about like this, and a man with a dog walked behind us, and Becca went down to pet it, and it jumped up and bit
I
her.
remember that. I thought I was picking up a toy.
Well, you were
She's picking
down,
up a
it
toy.
was there. So anyway, Becca got bit, and we took her to the ER down here. She had to get about 4 or 6 stitches in her eye. We weren't sure if the eye was okay, but it was. It's just about the eye, but she was bleeding profusely. But it took 2 hours to to numb you, because every time they wanted to
Anesthetized her.
every time we wanted to put a needle in her, she would grab the needle and pull it out instead of letting the doctor give her the shot. So they said, well, we got to wait now because we don't know how much went in. This happened 3 different times. Finally, they had to restrain her, and there were like 3 or 4 nurses trying to give her a shot finally to put her out so they could stitch her up and take care of everything. So I knew she was headstrong at that point, and she would be all right in life.
Stop. Here I am.
When they decided that, hey, we were going to go into the performing arts, were you surprised?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. They both loved the camera, getting in front of and performing in the camera or people or anyone who walked by. They were like the star. They were like the star. They loved it. Yeah, they just wanted to be on camera and show off constantly. So it did not surprise me whatsoever.
And the sports background came from where?
Both. I don't know.
Really?
It's kind of like, well, Dad was the track star,
Yeah.
and then Mom eventually got into sports in
They
her
always-
late 30s.
And then they always encouraged us to explore different types of sports and see what we liked.
Yep.
So we just, and Dad was also in the arts, acting. He played guitar and music. So I mean, we got a lot of our talent from Dad. I think we got our bold head and whatever stubbornness from Mom.
So it's a good combination.
Yeah, but, but the sports, I mean, like we kind of were always into sports. And then I think it just kind of, Mom kind of just took the lead when we were about 9, right? Like 9, 10, into running for a cause, and that kind of just changed our family, just kind of our lifestyle. And then, that's kind of what.
And then Dad was always the coach or like the cheerleader.
He was a cheerleader.
was.
He was for many years.
I was. But we just wanted to expose them to as much as possible to see what they gravitated to and excelled in. If they didn't like it, we moved on. But we wanted to give them as much exposure as possible to find their way, find what they enjoyed doing and did well in.
Does it surprise you where they are now in terms of their choice of career paths?
No. They really much followed in their mom's footsteps, not only in their trade, but also in their spirits, if you will, and their kindness and their ability to see people where they are and want to help people. It's very much like their mother. So, yeah, they've really extended her. So it's been great to see.
I always think that Rebekah, and when I watch Rachel, it's really interesting because I don't know Sue, I never met her, but I see a lot of them in their mom in them, and then I see a lot of them or you in them. Rebekah always likes to tell the story of that when you wanted to play guitar, the moment she said, "Dad, I want to play guitar," what did you do?
Okay. And
me the next day I have a guitar. And then I'm like, Dad, I want to play electric now. And he's like, okay. The next day I have an electric guitar. And he was just so supportive over our dreams, and because it included him, he was able to be a part of it. He used to teach us.
I would say that
things.
they never pushed us to do anything we didn't want to do, and when we
encouraged
wanted to do something that was in their type of like hobby or field, they were all about it.
All
Even
about
with like
it.
racing with Mom,
Mom
and she
would
was
get
like,
so excited.
"Do you want to run a half marathon?"
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Well,
Gotta get up at 4:30 in the
two of
morning.
them
I'm
just
like,
get so excited
I
because
love
it's
that.
just a part of who they are that is a part of who we are, and then at some point you find that, and your parents just get to support it and encourage it, and it's really exciting because they're like going back in time, and then they're like present. It's really fun.
and Rachel, you found you as a teenager, right? You started running and competing with your mom,
well,
and
like the back
Like
end of 17. Yeah, so I ran my first half marathon, my first 10 miler and half marathon when I was 17. It gave me something to work towards, and I really like being goal oriented, and my mom was very driven, and I like that, and so I really admired that. So I kind of felt like it was something we could bond over, or just help me grow as a person, because I needed that I needed that.
and
I
when
could be a wild child, so
right, and being a wild child, right? You picked up the drum kit.
yeah,
She's
that's it.
on double bass pedal and everything.
Well,
She's
I mean-
serious.
I didn't.
How old were you when you started playing drums?
I was like 15.
And why the drums?
I like beats, you know. I like tap
Throwing.
dance. Like tap is my favorite type of dance.
Yep.
I love the drums, and I love spinning, cycling for
rhythm.
like the beats and the
Rhythm.
rhythm. It's
Rhythm.
all about the
The
rhythm
rhythm.
and the beats
That's true.
when it drops. I'm like, don't talk to me until it drops. And when it drops, I'm like, okay, what's up?
Girls just turned 33 yesterday, so today's January 28th, 2022, and we are in Galveston, Texas. Everyone here seems to sort of be in transition. Dad retired a year ago, Christmas.
Yep.
Where do you see this family going, and what excites you about, the girls and maybe, the men in their lives?
The men.
The men.
All the men.
The men,
The man.
the man, and the man.
The man in each
The
one of
man.
our lives. There's
Well,
one.
Well,
Oh,
sure,
no.
yeah.
I'm just saying, in terms of,
Where we are and future. Well, I mean, I'm excited just to. I look forward to just being with them and their families, wherever that is, wherever they decide
No
to
pressure.
relocate, and the freedom to come and go and be a part of their lives. It's interesting because years ago, Sue and I worked very hard to get them out of the house, which we did, and encouraged them successfully, and they did a great job. And now we're out in a different chapter of life, and it's nice to have them back, part of my life, and to be with them as they've grown into just these incredible young women. They're no longer my little girls.
They're so little.
They're still little, but they're wonderful young women who have really matured and come into their own. Really more than ever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been awesome. Thank you for sharing, because sharing is caring.
And you're going to say that.
Well,
You think I'm cheesy.
when you have a 12-year-old and you've been raising him since he's 4, you just
And then you do the floss
What is
and
sharing?
other things like
Sharing
that.
is caring,
Yes, yes.
and I really appreciate you and your words, and I appreciate this time with you, and I appreciate this time with you, and I love you, and this has been probably my most favorite birthday since I can remember. So thank you guys for making it so special,
you're welcome.
and you too.
Thank you, Andy.
Back to you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I want to talk to you about a few things.